A mad woman who was pregnant was known in the community of Umuohia, a humble, clay-rich village surrounded by rustling palm trees and red soil footpaths. No one knew who got her pregnant. She carried this mysterious pregnancy, and though the people gossiped, they still gave little support, offering food, clothes, and sometimes medicine. But the mad woman was stubborn. She refused to stay in anyone's house. She liked doing her things her own way, wild, proud, and fiercely independent. Until one fateful day, she gave birth, all by herself, right behind an abandoned shed by the stream. When the community noticed, news spread like wildfire. Women rushed to the scene, their wrappers swinging, carrying warm water, wrappers, and herbs. But the mad woman refused to let anyone touch her child. In that moment, a tiny baby girl, later named Chidinma, was born into a storm of gossip and stares. From then on, Mad Woman was always seen with her child Chidinma. The community still supported them from afar, food for the child, small medication now and then, but no one dared enter their space. They lived in a shanty shelter at the edge of Umuohia, made of wood, zinc, and ragged sheets. It looked like it could collapse any day, but it was home to them. As Chidinma grew, she played around the neighborhood. Her mother would stand under the big mango tree, watching with hawk-like eyes. No one dared make her daughter cry, or else she would unleash fury on anyone, young or old. The children played cautiously, tiptoeing around the boundaries of Chidinma's emotions. Then came the day she had to start school. Mad Woman, in her wild hair and mismatched wrappers, dragged her daughter to Umuohia Community School, built with flaking cement walls and dusty chalkboards. The school compound fell silent. Students, teachers, even the headmaster froze. The mad woman had arrived with a child. She stood at the entrance, then pushed Chidinma forward, urging her to enter the classroom. She stood outside the door like a soldier. The headmaster, Mr. Eze, understanding the moment, nodded slowly and accepted the girl into the class. The news spread again. From that day, the headmaster provided Chidinma with school uniform and books, and all she needed for school. Every school day, the mad woman sat at the school gate, waiting patiently. Rain or shine, she was always there. One rainy afternoon, she sat soaked under a tree near the gate. One of the teachers, Miss Onyeka, saw her and said, "The love of a mother can never be measured." But tragedy struck. One night, a dark, thunder-filled night, a man came to their shanty shelter. A silent evil. His name? Chief Dominic, though no one knew it at the time. He had been pretending to be mad too, laughing and playing around Mad Woman for weeks. That night, he tried to molest Chidinma. The mad woman, like a lioness, rose in defense. She bit, scratched, screamed. While fighting the intruder, Chidinma ran for safety into the bushes. But Chief Dominic, evil in human form, strangled the mad woman and ran off to chase the girl all through the night. He searched for her and couldn't find her, so next morning, Chidinma returned, tears in her eyes, calling her mother. She tapped her. There was no movement. She cried louder. Mama! Wake up! But her mother lay cold and still. The community gathered again, this time in silence. Chidinma, barely holding her voice, explained, a man had come, a man who always dressed like a madman. He used to play with Mama, but he was not mad. He came to harm me. Mama fought him. Mama protected me. Mama died. The truth is that Chief Dominic had been using Mad Woman to gain diabolic powers for wealth and protection, but no one knows this. Where would Chidinma go now? No one wanted her. Everyone had an excuse, except one. An old woman, Mama Oma, a potter, living in a clay house with her granddaughter Adobe, stepped forward. She took Chidinma in. gave her food, love, family. She taught her and her granddaughter how to make pots with clay. And oh, Chidinma was gifted, even more skilled than Adaobi. Her hands moved with purpose. She molded grief into beauty. She started taking their pots to Nikwo Market, a crowded, vibrant place full of bargaining voices and food smells, scents of spices. Her pots began to sell. Her name spread. Even neighboring villages started asking for her works. She made good, great fortunes for Mama Oma in the clay pot business. Mama Oma most times stays at home and make more pots because she's becoming weak now, while Chidinma do more of the selling by taking their products to different markets. On market-free days, she joins Mama Oma to produce more pots. Chidinma continued school. But one day, when she was preparing to apply to City College in Enugu, fate struck again. Mama Afeoma fell ill and passed away. The last thread of motherly comfort was gone. Chidinma was devastated. She couldn't continue her education, so she made a decision. She would sacrifice her dream so Adaobi could finish school. She made more pots, sold more, paid the fees, bought clothes, and kept Adaobi smiling. The only family Adaobi has is me, she would say. I must not let her feel what I felt. Even when she walked to the market barefoot in the rain, even when she returned home without a single sale, she still put on a smiling face to cheer up Adaobi. One day, after a muddy downpour, she lost her pair of flip-flops in the road. Reaching Ake Market, she was covered in clay and wet earth. Yet, a well-dressed young lady approached her. "Can you make flower vases in different designs?" the lady asked. "Yes," Chidinma replied with a humble smile. The lady gave her a contract and directed her to a building construction site. Chidinma visited the building site. They agree on the price to deliver the contract, and so she started. There, she worked tirelessly, molding clay with precision and passion. Then he walked in, Obina, the young owner of the mansion under construction. Handsome, calm, free-spirited. He came to inspect the site and saw her, focused, glowing with determination. "Who is she?" he asked one of the workers. "That's Chidinma, the potter," the man replied. "She's from this community, daughter of the mad woman who died years ago. After that, an old woman raised her. That old woman is gone too. Now she's taking care of the woman's granddaughter. She's one of the best potters in the region, sir." Obina was moved. He walked up to her. "What's your name?" She answered, shy but steady. "You're very talented," he said. They chatted briefly, and he left. But something stirred. Something was about to begin. A feeling no one can explain nor understand. When Obina, the young man who owned the mansion, got home, he couldn't stop thinking about the girl, Chidinma, the potter. But then in his thoughts, she's the daughter of a mad woman. What will my parents say when they find out her background? He was torn and confused. Yet, Obina had just returned from Europe, and his worldview had changed. One day, with the help of one of his trusted workers, Chike, he secretly traced Chidinma's home. She was shocked to see him standing in front of her small clay hut in Umuohia. She bowed quickly, stammering, "Good evening, sir. I hope I haven't done anything wrong. I just finished the contract. I delivered all the flower pots, sir." Obina smiled warmly. "No, no, you've done nothing wrong. I'm just here to appreciate your good work. It was truly beautiful." "Thank you very much, sir," she replied humbly. They began talking while Chike, the worker, quietly excused them. Obina asked, "How have you been doing?" Their conversation deepened. Eventually, he asked, "What are your dreams, Chidinma?" She responded, "My only dream is to see my younger sister, Adaobi, get the best education. If she becomes a graduate, I'll be fulfilled. I didn't get to attend university, but I want to give her what I couldn't have. Obinna was deeply moved. I think I can help. Chidinma looked surprised. Help? What do you mean, sir? There's a scholarship I manage. If I submit her name and recommendation, she's in. Chidinma gasped. Really? Is that even possible? That would be a miracle. Very, very possible, Obinna replied. There's still something else I'd like to discuss, Obinna said carefully. I hope it's not something bad or an offense I've committed, Chidinma said, suddenly tense. Obinna laughed. No, not at all. It's all for good, but not now. Another day. They waved each other goodbye. A few weeks later, Adobe's name was submitted, and she was accepted into a prestigious European university on scholarship. She traveled abroad, excited and hopeful. Even while abroad, Adobe struggled in her early days, juggling school and work. Chidinma, like a true mother, continued sending money to support her from back home, still molding pots with her weathered hands. One afternoon, Obinna returned to Chidinma's home. This time, he came to declare his intentions. Chidinma, shocked, replied, I'm nobody. I have no one. You're a well-known man. Your family will never accept a lowly girl like me. I will take care of that, Obinna said firmly. He had been visiting her secretly for months. I make my own choices. My parents cannot dictate who I love. One day, he made a decision. I want to introduce you to my parents, he said. They went to his parents' home, a grand mansion in Enugu, filled with chandeliers, uniformed guards, and polished marble floors. Chidinma was nervous. Everything was too shiny, too cold, too unfamiliar. Obinna encouraged her. Please, make yourself comfortable. You belong here. He called out, Mom, Dad, we have a special guest in the house. His parents made their way down to the sitting room. Chidinma, here are my parents, Mom, Dad, married. This is Chidinma, the woman I want to marry. But when Chidinma looked up at Obinna's father, she froze. Her heart dropped. It was him, the very man who had strangled her mother to death years ago. She clutched herself, trembling, but said nothing. Chief Dominic stood, visibly angry. No, this cannot happen. You cannot marry this girl. Chidinma turned around and ran out of the mansion. Her chest burned. Her past had returned in full force. Obinna ran after her, but she avoided him for days. She cried, hurt, betrayed. A healed wound had burst open again. A few weeks later, after gathering herself, Chidinma returned to Nekwo Market for her usual sales. Obinna showed up again. She ignored him. He waited for her to finish selling and followed her on her way home. Chidinma, please talk to me. Finally, she turned and said, Go and ask your father. He knows me very well. I won't say a word, but if your father can tell you the truth, then I will talk. If he cannot, forget everything. Obinna stared at her, stunned but grateful she had spoken. I promise you, I will find out, he said. Back at the mansion, Obinna sat with his father. Dad, you and Mom told me to find a wife. I did. But you're rejecting her. Why? Just forget that girl, Chief Dominic said coldly. Obinna pushed again and again. No answers. In despair, he went on a hunger strike. Days passed. His body grew weak. Eventually, he was rushed to the hospital and placed under emergency care. Still, he refused food. Seeing his only son deteriorate, Chief Dominic finally broke when his son was discharged from the hospital. That evening, he walked into Obinna's room, trembling. Son, that girl, the one you want to marry, she is your sister. What? Obinna shouted. How? When? Why? Chief Dominic broke down. Years ago, I was in a political and business power tussle, threatened from all sides. I sought out a native doctor who gave me a task: sleep with a mad woman to gain power and protection. I did it. I slept with a mad woman in the village. After that, everything changed. I won everything. Business, politics. But I didn't know she got pregnant. And when the child was born, another ritual required me to molest the daughter of the mad woman who happened to be my daughter or kill the mother. This were the options I was given. That night, I came. I struggled with her. She fought like a lioness. Her daughter escaped, but she died in the struggle. That girl, Chidinma, is your sister. Obina silent, tears streaming. The next morning, Obina's mother screamed his name, Ubina! He rushed to his father's room, seeing his mother restless, panicking and screaming. What happened to my father? Obina asked. Chief Dominic was dead, ooh. My husband is dead, ooh. The truth had killed him. Karma had knocked. He now understood. The curse was that if he ever revealed the secret, he would die. Later that week, Obina returned to Chidinma's home. She saw his face and asked, have you finally found out the truth? He nodded silently. Are you all right? What's the matter? I lost my father yesterday. Oh no, what happened? The truth he hid many years ago killed him. Karma came knocking. He is your father, our father, Obina said. She froze. So I have a father who used me for his gain and a brother who truly cares. She collapsed to her knees, weeping. Obina lifted her gently. It's over now. Let's write a new story. And so they did. To escape the stares, the gossip, the shadows of the past, Obina flew Chidinma abroad to where Adaobi was studying. There, they reunited, three hearts once shattered, now healing. Chidinma and Adaobi, living, schooling, and building new dreams. Few years later, Chidinma and Adaobi were done with their university and also working with a reputable company. On an occasion, they decided visited their hometown all the way from Europe to build a legacy, and also to see her stepmother, Obina's mother. But something happened after they arrived. Nigeria. Obina decided to join them. Few days later, on his way to the village, he had an accident. He was rushed to the hospital. When the news got to Chidinma and Obina's mother, they rushed down to the hospital on getting to the ward. They met the doctor who told them Obina lost so much blood and needed a blood transfusion. But they don't have his blood group in their blood bank now, and it's a matter of urgency. Chidinma said, he is my brother, doctor. I can donate mine. The doctor took her to conduct a test only to discover that her blood didn't match with Obina's. Tension was everywhere. Obina's mother was perplexed as Chidinma gave her a questionable gaze. Adaobi rushed in, hearing the situation at hand and a matter of life and death. She said to the doctor, can donate mine. Yes, you can only if it matches his own, and a test was carried out. It matches. Few days later, Obina gained consciousness and was later discharged. Chidinma, ever since the blood mismatch scenario in the hospital, has been questioning the tie that binds she and Obina. Later that evening, Obina's mother called Adaobi, Chidinma, and Obina to the living room. They all sat. She started by asking Adaobi, who is your father? I don't know him because was told he died when was born on his way to meet me and my mom at the hospital. He was knocked down by a car. What about your mother? She asked. When she heard the news of my father's death, she developed heart attack and died. Can you remember the name of your father? She asked again. My grandma told me his name was Anthony, but well known as Tony. Adaobi answered. Immediately, Obina's mother screamed, oh, 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 my Tony, no wonder your blood matched. How? Obina and Chidinma asked in haste. Obina's mother turned to Obina and said, Chief Dominic is not your father. Your father is Anthony Madu. I was pregnant for him. Then he was still surviving under his parents before Chief Dominic came to marry me. No one knows till this day. The picture is clearer and making sense to me now, so I have been taking care of your sister, believing she has no relative, Chidinma said. Obinna short of words and said, if Chief Dominic happened to be alive, this truth wouldn't come out, Mom. And he turned to Chidinma and said, this is my heart desire, a dream come true. I have always wished and wanted you to be my wife. Here we are now. They got married. Obin later brought their mother, Mrs. Dominic, to join them in abroad. The past was behind, and a new chapter had begun. Please subscribe, comment your interest for the next part, like, share, and tap the notification button to get notified for more. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment your interest for the next part, like, share, and tap the notification button to get notified for more. Thanks for watching.